Hey, this is Jazz, and you're watching Jazz's Rockin Roadshow. I am here in Punta, Chile. This is the last stop before Antarctica. This is the end of the world, if you will. Anyway, we've got a great episode for you. My dear friend, Alyssa Hankey is going to be the musical guest. So let's check out one of her tunes right now on Jazz's Rockin Roadshow.
It's a Thursday night down at the Chief. You were at the bar just looking at me. You were sitting there with your girlfriends. I was drinking some bud and smoking my reds. I walked on up and I asked you to dance. You just smiled and said you'd like that. So let's go down to the county seat. I found a witness and the JP. Come on, baby, won't you marry me? You hollered to me, play that song again. You like Charlie Pride and the two-step. I asked if I could see your tattoo, a faded picture of Betty Boop. I held you close and I gave you a kiss. You said you never ever felt like this. So let's go down to the county seat. I found a witness and the JP. Come on, baby, won't you marry me? You said your daddy was a real hard man. Took to the bottle, didn't give a damn. Well, I did time for writing bad checks, and you lost your baby to the CYS. Well, last call you said let's do some shots. My Bronco's waiting in the parking lot. You'll be my Bonnie and I'll be your Clyde. When the morning comes, you're gonna be my bride. When the morning comes, you're gonna be my bride. So let's go down to the county seat. I find a witness and the JP. Come on, baby, won't you marry me? Yeah, come on, baby, won't you marry me?
I can't believe somebody just left this laying there, so I'm going to pick it up and move it. I don't think so. Oh, I can actually move it a little bit. It is kind of heavy, though. I don't think they have to worry about anybody trying to steal it. Unless you had like 8 guys, I guess you maybe could. Maybe. I don't know what you do with it. This pier was built in 1900 by the pioneering businessman Augustin Ross. It was for the shipment of coal production of the Loretta mine. Later, it was acquired by the anonymous livestock and commercial company Menendez Behetti, which used it for that purpose and for the general movement of cargo. It remained in service until the 1940s. I like to call this the pier at the end of the world. Or maybe the pier at the end, the pier at the city at the end of the world. Either way, it's pretty cool. There's a ton of birds out there just hanging out. And yesterday I didn't shoot any video, but it was beautiful out here. And there were a ton of birds, even more so than what's out there now. So yeah. And FYI, way back behind me, right about, let's see, right there, that's my hotel here in Punta Arenas. Yeah. So let's check out some music by my dear friend Alyssa Hankey.
I filled up the tank and took the turnpike home. You know the winners up here make a young man old. She gotta do what you can, 'cause honey is a hard road. Coal company coming in to tear up the land, just killing all the beauty from the maker's hand. And that old devil got 'em all body and soul. You gotta keep on that good side, 'cause honey is a hard road. I'm stranded in that Seattle rain, and I'm an old beat-up Santa Fe train. And I'll just carry myself a heavy load. Now I'll give you some help, 'cause honey is a hard road. Well, we made our exodus, and on the highways we roam. And I see you there in the desert, and on your back's a big old stone. Well, let me do my part, 'cause honey is a hard road. Well, your eyes are getting heavy from all the miles that you drove, and we made it through the wind, the rain, and the snow. Oh, let me take the wheel, 'cause honey is a hard road. You can't go alone, 'cause honey is a hard road.
I've been walking for about 40 minutes from the hotel to get to this. Behind me is the Lord Lonsdale ship. It was sailing from Germany to the coast of Mexico in 1909. and it had a stopover in the Falkland Islands, right? And it caught fire, and they couldn't control the fire, so they sank it. Now here's what's crazy. That's 560 miles away from Punta Arenas. So nobody's quite sure how this ship got here. That's pretty cool. This sign reads, "The English frigate Lord Lonsdale, a tribute to seafarers of all nationalities who crossed the Magellan Sea and made possible the best knowledge and settlement of this region." Y'all didn't know that I knew Espanol, did ya? I'm gonna figure out how to get down there. Because after walking 40 minutes from the hotel, I'm not gonna not go down there. This is pretty cool. I wish I could go up on it somehow. I don't think that's possible. This was easier going down, but it's actually not too bad going back up. This is the Maria Behetti Park, and while it doesn't exactly look open, it kind of doesn't exactly look like it's closed, so we're gonna walk on in. But the reason I wanted to go here is because as I was looking at it, I saw that it had some dinosaurs, which, if you didn't watch the Wyoming episode, go check that out. My dear friend Chuck Gilchrist and I found Dinosaur Park while we were out west, and it was a lot of fun. These dinosaurs look a little bit more realistic, so I'm gonna walk up and check them out. They say this is a dinosaur, but I'm pretty sure Qui-Gon Jinn rode one of these in the Phantom Menace. Just saying. This is a big kitty cat. That's right. Whatever that bird was saying. Ah, he's got my arm. Well, this is pretty cool. I've never been to a abandoned dinosaur park before, but here I am. Who thought it would be in Chile, of all places? Not this guy. I am at the Hill of the Cross, and it overlooks all of the city here. Par for the course everywhere I go. Always find locks. That's pretty cool. North southeast. Oh. Behind me is the cemetery of Punta. And apparently it's a pretty popular place to go to, so I'm going to check it out for a few moments. All right, it costs $5 to get into the cemetery here, but I'm allowed to shoot video, and I can see why it costs $5. So apparently, this cemetery was just a cemetery, and then somebody, and I'll have to research it and see if I can put the info down here for you, but somebody in their state department or something did a improvement project that just made this what it is. But check out how cool this is. This is one of the coolest cemeteries I think I've ever been at. It's like a small city. I mean, you could get lost here very easily, I suppose. So this is where Captain Adolf Anderson is buried. He was the captain of a whaling ship in 1940. I think he passed away, but he's recognized for being the first person to place the Chilean flag in Antarctica. So how about that? I do dig these hedges. Gosh, check out how thick that is. Like, that is crazy. Wow. Hello in there. And check out how many there are. Wow. I think the hedges are as cool as all the mausoleums, I guess you'd call them. I like how they cut these out too. Check this out. This is the unknown Indian monument, found dead at Diego de Almagro Island in 1929 next to the body of a marble depositor janitor called Juan Leal. Both were brought in a box and remained buried together in the same coffin. Now, what I find interesting about that is they were found dead together, brought over in the same box and buried in the same coffin, but why were they found dead together? Did they enjoy each other's company? Were they in a fight? They might have hated each other and now they're buried together forever. I don't know the answers, so you might have to Google that. This place is huge, and you know, trying to be respectful about shooting video and stuff, I felt a little weird about it at first, but then, you know, literally there are bus tours of people that come here to see this cemetery. It's that big and unique, and everybody's snapping photographs and pictures. So I mean, not that I wouldn't have done it anyways, I'm just saying. So here we are in the center again. there's a monument or a statue for a British crew that died when their boat sank in like 1881. So as soon as I can find that, I'll show it to you. All right, I think I finally found it. This is in memory of the officers and ship's company of the HMS Dotterel, blown up at Sandy Point, April 26, 1881. Wow. There was a crew of 145 and only 12 of them survived. All right, I think that's enough of the cemetery for now. Although this cemetery was named one of the world's most beautiful cemeteries, I think, by CNN, if you put any credit into that. So, but I agree with them on that one. I mean, it is a gorgeous cemetery. If you're in Punta Arenas, come check it out. And now I think I'm going to try to find the southernmost brewery in the world. So while I find my way out of this place, here's a tune by my friend Alyssa Hankey.
I took off my wedding band and laid it there on the nightstand. Left my old lady and her kid, 'cause he ain't mine and I ain't his. I ran a coal truck up and down them roads, drove in circles with nowhere to go. Well, Jesse knew me from way back when, and always wondered where it could have been. Drove to her mama's and I picked her up. We disappeared in a cloud of dust. We drove that highway into the end and found ourselves up in Cleveland. Lay with me, baby, skin on skin. Plastic cups, a whiskey engine. It ain't a lie if you don't know the truth. Just you and me in a motel room. I want some money down at the Jack, double or nothing on a game of craps. We went drinking at a joint downtown. I went in and bought 'em all around. For a while you're everyone's friend, until they found out just what you did. Well, me and Jesse sat in a booth, trading stories from high school. We stayed there until closing time and headed back to room 105. We drank the liquor from the mini bar and made love there every dawn. Lay with me, baby, skin on skin. Plastic cups, a whiskey engine. It ain't a lie if you don't know the truth. Just you and me in a motel room. It's the day right after Christmas. I'm lying here in a Motel 6. It's been 4 days since I went AWOL. Brand new woman, 32 missed calls. Well, I got up and I closed the blinds. Secrets are hidden where the sun don't shine. Lay with me, baby, skin on skin. Plastic cups, a whiskey engine. It ain't a lie if you don't know the truth. Just you and me in a motel room. Well, there's one thing that I'll never understand, and that's
This building right here is the southernmost brewery in the world. And I don't think they're open because it's New Year's Eve day. But at least we saw it, right? Not very exciting, I suppose. Let's see. Welcome, we just can't get in. Bummer. So I think that they only do tours on Saturdays. In fact, I'm sure it's locked. Yep, it's locked. Well, I can now say I've been to the southernmost brewery in the world. I did not have a beer there, which is unfortunate. But in honor of being here, I will go have a beer somewhere else of this brand.
$1 million highway rolls to Route 6, where the leaves they're changing. It's time I get my fix. Just a few more hours and I'll make it up there. That's the price that you pay for clean air. Well, up here they don't play by the rules, and I never like being told what to do. I'll be as free as a bird and crazy as a loon. Yeah, tonight, my dear, we're going howling at the moon. I'm gonna take my phone and throw it in the river. I'm gonna sleep under the stars and get drunk on brown liquor. Well, that mountain's so high and that water's so strong. I'm gonna catch me a trout and sing the coyote song. Well, up here they don't play by the rules, and I never like being told what to do. I'll be as free as a bird and crazy as a loon. Yeah, tonight, my dear, we're gonna howl at the moon. And I got miles, miles and miles to myself, and I'm wild, wild, wild right now. We'll cancel my subscription to my pain and addiction that I seem to put up on myself. We'll send my resignation, I'm a sovereign nation. Society can go right to hell. Well, up here they don't play by the rules, and I never like being told what to do. I'll be as free as a bird and crazy as a loon. Yeah, tonight, my dear, we're going howling at the moon. Yeah, tonight, my dear, we're going howling at the moon. And I got miles, miles and miles to myself, and I'm wild, wild, wild right now.
Okay, we are going to a place where if you're in Punta Arnes, you need to go. It's called Kiosco Roca. I believe I pronounced that right. They serve two types of sandwiches, one with cheese and one without. But what they are really known for is their banana milk. Yeah. So bananas are okay. I'm not a real big milk person, but you know, when you're in different places, you gotta try they're different things. So we're gonna go in here and try some banana milk. Let's see how it goes. And this is the famous little shop. You can come here and there will be really big lines of people just everywhere waiting to get in. It's usually pretty busy. And the best part about it is it's not very expensive.
Hola.
Hola.
Hola, dígame.
Hola. No hable español.
No, inglés. No speak in English. No speak in English.
Well,
O sea,
okay.
choripán tradicional. Choripán,
Yes, queso.
ya, 1, 2. O choripán, choriqueso. O
Yeah.
2 choriqueso.
Yes.
Ya. Y banana milk.
Yes. Hola. Or sí. That wasn't so bad. Ah, muchas gracias. Lovely.
Eso.
Muchas gracias.
Exacto.
Can I?
Banana milk.
No? Oh,
Ahí.
see. Thank you. All right. This is what I came for. So these are the little sandwiches, right? Mmm. And banana milk. Mm. Tastes like bananas. One in Rome, huh? One in Punta Arenas. Well, I can now say that I've had banana milk. And it was not my favorite thing. It tasted like liquefied bananas. So if you like bananas and you like milk, you'd probably like that quite a bit. I think I pretty much did everything there is to do in Punta Arenas. So I have to leave for the airport in about 4 hours. So I'm probably gonna head back to the hotel and get ready. And yeah, before I know it, I'll be on a plane heading to Santiago and then Atlanta and then Pittsburgh eventually. Hopefully I can get into Pittsburgh. They've had some bad storms. But it's beautiful down here, 55 degrees I think right now roughly. And yeah, Punta Arenas. Here's some music from my dear friend Alyssa Hankey on Jazz's Rockin Roadshow.
Well, my people came here a long time ago, forged in fire and filled with smoke. They built their house up in these hills. They dug for coal and they worked for steel. Well, that ancient river runs deep and wide, and they never lived to see the other side. So I carry them with me everywhere I go, and all that's settling down give me a restless soul. You can't break a wild horse that was meant to roam somewhere west of the Ohio. Well, this mountain chain, it builds a wall from the Flatlanders to the Western Stars. The waters start down at the fork in that city I've known since I was born. We're here in the land of smokestacks. They carry their country upon their backs. So I carry them with me everywhere I go. Arizona and Colorado. You can't break a wild horse that was meant to roam somewhere west I carry the light and all the sins. Oh, and they're still there in all the blood that I bleed. So when I die, you bring this body back east. Throw my ashes in the river and set me free. Oh, and my soul is left to roam somewhere west of the Ohio. Blue was no doubt. It took off when the sun went down. Well, he came home covered in mange and he was foaming from the mouth. So I grabbed my gun and a bag of lime. We took off over the hills, deep into the tree line. With two going, only one comes out alive. You do your dealings in the dark, somewhere beyond the pines. Well, Jenny comes home, her breath that smells like wine. She has her makeup done and she wears her clothes too tight. One night I saw her car was parked at my brother's house. Said she was at her mama's, but she never wears that blouse. We took a walk in the woods, just like we used to do. Said I'd take my gun, that a fox was on the loose. With two going, only one comes out alive. You do your dealings in the dark, somewhere beyond the pines. Well, I called up my brother Paul and I asked what he was up to. Said I needed help, that a fox got in the chicken coop. I heard it at night and I saw it running round. We loaded up our guns, headed for the pines as the sun started going down. Well, two going, only one comes out alive. You do your dealings in the dark, somewhere beyond the pines. Ooh, ooh,
All right, I am back in the studio and I have my dear, dear friend, Alyssa Hankey here. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you don't know, or maybe you do, I had so many people telling me that I had to have you on my show. So I'm so thankful that you agreed to do it. So
Yeah. Great to be here.
tell me a little bit about yourself. I know that you perform acoustically like you did here.
Mm-hmm.
I know you sometimes have a backup band or a band. I shouldn't say backup band, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I know that you also do a lot of touring.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to take any of those topics and run with it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. The solo acoustic thing is kind of like the most that I do. Like it's, I play probably 75% of the shows are solo acoustic. And the band came in probably about 3 years ago. I just wanted to do more, and we do kind of like monthly shows throughout the year, and that's a lot of fun. Yeah, and then I sometimes do cross country tours, out of state. I recently did like the Pacific Northwest back in August. So I just like to change it up and stay versatile, and I always like to challenge myself, and
right. Now,
it's been good.
When you do the tours, are you lining all those up yourself?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a lot of work.
It is. It's gotten easier through the years.
Sure.
I think that was my 4th time doing it, and I feel like I've kind of established myself, so it's a lot easier to reach out to good venues and
Sure.
And I have connections in places too, which makes it easier.
Now, when you tour like that, are you linking up with like other local artists, or are you doing the whole night yourself? Or
It depends. Sometimes it's like a songwriter night, and you have multiple people, or
Sure.
we kind of agree to share the bill, and once again, just changing it up, I think is a good thing to do.
Yeah. Wow. I have so much respect for you doing that. That's so great. Now, here's what everybody in the audience, and I don't know if I'm allowed to tell them this, but when you came up to the studio, you've got a van that's decked out for living in, right? Yeah, like the van life, because I commented on that because I thought it was so cool. So is that what you travel in for your tours and stuff?
Usually, this past tour, I rented a car because my van's, it's getting up in miles, and it's really stressful having your own vehicle.
Sure.
If you break down in Washington State, you're like, what am I going to do? So having that rental was just a really big peace of mind.
Where do you find, where do you get, I don't know, the biggest, where's your biggest draws? Like what type, if you're out west, is there a certain kind of I do good in big cities, or I do good in suburbs? Is there a certain place you like to?
It tends to be kind of small town, kind of rural breweries, and, I find that there's just people actually stop and listen to you. Because I don't know if it's maybe a slower pace of life, and they just focus on you, and they're really interested. And plus they don't, typically get touring acts going through there. So it's kind of it's an interesting niche to get into.
Well, I can understand that because sitting here listening to your songs, your songs are very lyrically driven. You're not, it's not just a catchphrase and a drum machine. Mm-hmm. No offense to those of you that use drum machines, but you're telling stories with your songs, and each one of them. I mean, when I was sitting there listening, I'm like, you are you've just got such a perfect voice for what you do, and in the tradition of maybe Ani DeFranco out there doing it yourself, throw that guitar in the car, let's go, and let's get to the next gig, and I really appreciate that. Do you play a lot in the Pittsburgh area as well?
I do, yeah. Play, different venues in the city, like Fatheads, and I can't think of many off the top of my head, but that's I play there pretty frequently.
And you're from the Butler area? Yeah,
I was born in Katanning, and I was raised in a small town called Rural Valley, and then I live in Butler now.
So when you do the touring, you pretty much do that as a solo acoustic act.
Yeah.
But then when you're in town, then people can see you with the band.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Now, when you play with the band, do you do any covers or anything like that?
Yeah, usually we've been doing, 2 or 3 hour shows, and I would say probably 80% of it's original and 20% is covers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you find it that people, when you tour, are people accepting to the original? Do you have to throw some covers in there as well, just to kind of okay, here's one
Yeah, I always try to, play some covers because I think it keeps people engaged.
Sure.
And sometimes people are like, oh, I didn't know that you wrote that song. It's kind of cool to
right,
sneak it in, and they're like, oh, I thought that was somebody else's song, so
it's
an interesting way to...
Do you ever kind of just let them think it's your song?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Okay,
So, but I'll say it like after the song.
Sure.
You know?
That's cool. That's cool. Any really memorable road stories? I know that you have to have some, because anytime you travel, there's always something crazy that happens.
Yeah, I mean, there's been some like bad experiences.
Ooh.
I don't know if you want to hear that, but
Do they have happy endings?
not really.
Okay, we don't want to hear about it. We'll keep it uplift. Well, let me ask you this. You know, so one of the songs you played was "The Pines," and we were joking before you played it. We were talking, and I referenced the Sopranos episode. And then lyrically, I heard it. I'm like, oh man, you know, because if I interpreted that right, there was part of that story is about a dog, and that kind of made me, you know, just listen to the lyrics. But anyways, do you find yourself? The reason I bring that up, do you find yourself writing songs based on some of them road stories?
Yeah, sometimes. I think what I've been writing recently is more like just the people I know and kind of the world around me. That's like the concept for the new record I'm going to be working on next year. So it's kind of you know, more creating narratives of like people you kind of know or people that you've been around, you know.
Sure. So I was going to ask you, so 2025, you're doing a new album.
Yeah.
All right. So are you going to have the backup band
Yep.
with you? All right. So it's not, so, and will you have some just acoustic stuff as well?
There'll probably be like one or two songs that are,
Okay.
you know, more subdued.
Okay. Now, if people, until this album comes out, if people want to find your music and stuff, where can they get a hold of you?
I have a website, alyssahankey.com. I got Facebook, Instagram, most of my music's on Spotify. You know, all that jazz.
No pun intended, or however that works. Yeah. Well, I tell you, I enjoyed everything you did. The harmonica too was really cool because, you know, I was like, wow, I don't know. Because when you were playing, I'm sitting there like, I wonder if I could do that. Like sit here and do this instrument while doing that one. But you pulled it off quite well.
You kind of have to think of it as like just you singing. It's just like you're just playing the harmonica like you would sing in a way.
What, you started at a very young age, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I started taking lessons at 12 and, started writing songs in high school, did like the open mic scene in college. And then after college, I started to kind of build up, you know, my own gigs and so on. And it just kind of kept growing out year after year.
So I know I've asked a lot of questions about your touring, but I find that so, you know, because there's so many musicians that think they want to tour, and then sometimes they try it and it's like, ooh, this is a lot harder than, you know, it's a lifestyle.
It is, yeah.
It really is. And when you're out there doing it, do you find like do you find yourself like, oh, I'm so happy to be in this section of the country because they get my music more than another section, or is it pretty much just?
It's like, I feel like it's all kind of the same. No matter where you go, it all kind of bleeds together.
Sure.
You know.
Everybody, no matter where they live, thinks there's nothing to do in their hometown.
Right, yeah.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah, it is true, yeah.
And then, I don't know if you find this, I know when I used to tour, it'd be like, wow, this band must be pretty good because they're from far away. Like, the further away you are, the better
like
you are,
think,
right?
Oh, you know, but it's just like, well, you know.
Right on. So, the new album's, you're going to work on the new album in 2025. And then are you hoping to release it in 2025 as well, or?
Maybe late 25, early 26.
Okay.
Yeah, it just
so
depends on.
Going to be a process.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's my understanding that you have a song called Hippie of the Hills, right? And that's kind of like one that everybody gravitates towards on the streaming platforms and live and all that. So when I heard you play that, it reminded me of my friend Varian, who's been on the show as a kind of a, you know, co-host, if you will. Because he's, you know, he and I get into a lot of shenanigans, and he's got a little of that West Virginian in him, but yet we both wear kilts and flip-flops, so we're kind of hippies of the hills. But tell me a little bit about that song.
I think it was just like, sometimes like when you're an artist in like this area, you kind of feel like an outsider because like nobody understands your job, you know, because it's not super common. And so it's just like my take on how I see the world, and, you know, just you know, I don't know, just me, I guess.
So are you now, and, you know, are you full-time musician? I mean, is
Yeah.
this what, this is it? This is it for you.
Yeah.
Man. This is why going to see live music and
Yeah.
not just streaming, but buying the physical product, CDs, t-shirts, it means the world to artists.
Right.
Because sometimes that's whether or not you got to make it to the next city. And sometimes that's a question of whether or not you get a hotel
Yeah.
going to the next city, or you're staying alongside the road, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So once again, Alyssa Hankey, Facebook, Spotify, Bandcamp?
Yeah, there's stuff on Bandcamp,
Bandcamp.
Instagram.
Yeah. And then the website is just yourname.com, right?
Yep.
All right. Everybody, please check out my dear friend, Alyssa. You are doing what so many people want to do with their music. You are the truest sense of doing it. You're out there making it. What would you like the world to know about you before I?
I guess I make music that's real and raw and honest. So that's something I guess that's unique these days.
I think so. Well, let me tell you, you are welcome back here at any point in time. Just give me a call and say, Jazz, I want to be on the show. And I'll be like, yes.
Okay, cool.
All right. And if you ever need anybody to play some bass guitar or drums or anything for you, you let me know. And everybody, thank you for watching Jazz's Rockin' Roadshow with my dear friend, Alyssa Hankey.
Thank you.